Good morning. Thanks for coming to the Eagle football press conference. I'm Coach Clemens. Eagles had a tough loss last week, 15-14 to Park Hill South. I'd like to answer your questions.
What is the biggest challenge you have faced so far in this season?
Distractions would be the biggest challenge we faced. You know, whether it be minor to major disciplinary issues, injuries. You know, if you just go back a year. We made it through 11 football games without a single injury, without losing a single kid. This year we already have 8 injuries, and among those injuries we've lost about 17 games worth of activity between all those kids throughout the season. So, you know, the distractions, some are within our control and some are outside of our control, but the distractions have kind of been the story. The kids are still battling and trying hard, and that's good. We need to keep that. We need to keep that going and see if maybe we can have a week without someone getting hurt or some other distraction happening.
During your last game, the win seemed to be yours for the taking until the defense didn't hold. What do you feel happened?
Well, I think, you know, Park Hill South has a good football team. You know, we didn't get some breaks. If any of you watched the Metro Sports telecast, you can see that in the fourth quarter when we're up 14-9, we throw about a 40-yard pass and catch it, and the referee thought that he saw us out of bounds, and if you watch the Metro Sports replay, it's clear that we were in bounds, and that was a huge turning point because that forced us then to punt to them, and that's when they put together their drive. They have a really good football player in number 3. You know, there was a 4th and 1 on that drive, and we hit him in the backfield, and he broke the tackle and then and ran forward for the first down. You know, anytime you lose by 1 point, you can point to a million things. You know, the fact that Park Hill South has a kid who made a 49-yard field goal in the game, you know, that made that touchdown relevant. You know, the defense did a great job all night. Offense moved the ball well. It was a well-played game between a couple of evenly matched teams, and it just came down to one little thing here and there.
Throughout those disciplinary actions and distractions, do you feel that there's been any blessings in disguise, if you will, through, you know, maybe a player stepping up to replace someone or your team growing closer because of your losses?
Do you know what? We've had a ton of kids who have exceeded expectations. There are a ton of good stories. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the young men who have stepped up, and they're much better football players, much more committed than we expected them to be. As far as the distractions and the losses, you know, hopefully our young men understand that you know, according to Max Preps, they have the toughest football schedule in the state of Missouri, any classification based on strength of schedule. You know, we've played in 6 games now. We've played 4 teams that are ranked in the top 10 in the state. And just to put that into perspective, that would be like, you know, say a 30-game season where the basketball or baseball team has to play 20 teams who are all ranked in the top 10 in the state in that period. So, you know, and it doesn't get any easier for us because this week we have a team who is much like us. They've been playing a similar schedule to us and getting beat by really good teams, and they have probably the 2 best football players we've seen this year on their team. So, you know, it doesn't get easier. It's just the way it unfolds. The schedule's not an excuse because I still think that we should be good enough to beat the teams who are ranked, and you know, we're probably the only 2-4 football team in the history of the state of Missouri who's still ranked in the top 10 in Class 5. So I think that people who know football and people who know what we're up against and who we're playing every week and how we're playing, you know, they understand that our schedule has been difficult, and I think our kids do too. But the thing that they need to keep believing is that we should be winning these games and that we can win these games because we're going to have more of them coming up.
What do you think are some key terms and plays throughout the game in St. Joe Central?
Well, what's going to be huge for us at St. Joe Central is being able to control the football and keeping the ball out of their offense's hands. They have the best receiver we've seen all year. They have the best running back we've seen all year. And they have a quarterback who's a dual threat, can run it and throw it. They score a lot of points. They average over 30 points a game, and they do it against good football teams. So, the big thing is going to be, we need to run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, keep the ball in our possession, keep it out of their hands, and we need to score when we get the opportunities.
What changes, if any, are you looking to make on the offensive side of the ball for the St. Joe Central game?
Well, we're going to renew our focus on running the football. This year, probably some of our problems are from a schematic issue from the first few weeks of trying to do too much, maybe trying to do things that our kids weren't entirely prepared for on the offensive side. We're going to go back to old school Liberty North football, which is, snap it to the quarterback, hand it to the running back, and block everybody and see what happens.
What does your team work the most to improve on this season?
What do we have the most to improve on, or what
you
have
worked the most to improve on?
Our defense started the year really subpar, particularly from our standards, and right now they're playing as good a football as we've ever played here. So the defense has really stepped up and doing a great job. Offensively, I think the offensive line has been consistent for us and done well. It's what it comes down to on the offensive side is not turning the ball over, maintaining drives, getting first downs on third and shorts, fourth and shorts. That's been a problem for us, and whether that's scheme, whether that's the guys who with the ball in their hands, or whether that's the offensive line, we need to get it fixed.
What is the next step for your team?
Well, it's in football where you have a 9-game season, as opposed to 25 or 30 games like a lot of other sports. Every game is hugely important. You prepare all week long for each game, and there's a lot of effort and many man hours put in. So most importantly right now is winning against St. Joe Central this week. As we look down the road, we're getting better. We played our best game Friday night. We played our best defensive game the week before. We're getting better every week, and when the districts rolls around, we'll get some rematches with some teams that we've already played that we know we match up really well with. If you just eliminate some mistakes and things like that. So we're very optimistic about the coming weeks. We hope that we can impress on our kids that we have a legitimate chance to do something really good this year. And so we're looking forward to it starting this week. Thanks for coming. Good questions. See you next week.